The Square Ball Podcast.
Welcome to the show. It's a very exciting day here at Square Ball Towers. Michael and Dean with me as we do propaganda, brand new propaganda in many ways.
But it's the same, it's a different day.
Yeah, we've moved it to Wednesday.
Same shit, different day, as they say.
Why have we moved it to Wednesday? Because you're lazy.
No, because it makes sense to talk about some stuff start of the week, this in the middle, some stuff end of week.
Yeah, just to give us a bit of extra time to get all those tasty clips, which we'll get to in a minute. Quick heads up on Levi Solicitors. They are doing a 15% discount on
Lasting powers of attorney, conveyancing, and wills.
Oh, you went backwards then. You did like the 3, 2, 1.
I'm just showing I can do it.
Rather than the 1, 2, 3. That's until the 31st of October, the end of Levi's 90th birthday month. levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Full details and terms on the website. 10% discount on everything else. Have a look at the website for details.
What can you buy on our website at the moment?
Don't know, but these T-shirts are nice that me and Dean are wearing. They feel box fresh.
Really nice, aren't they?
Yeah, these are the two that haven't sold quite as well as the other ones. So if you fancy buying one...
Yeah, buy that one.
This one in particular, the teletexty front one.
And Furpo mugs are happening, I believe.
Right.
I think that was discussed.
It's an exclusive.
Yeah, there's been a lot of clamour for Furpo mugs, so we're going to address that.
So make sure you buy them, for Christ's sake. Don't leave us... We've got a bad record with this, haven't we? We've got like about 800 Bamford mugs done when he played for England, and then it's not gone as well.
Yeah, so if you want a Bamford mug...
No, they're sold. They're sold out in the end.
Into the clips. Let's do some clips from the football world. That's the purpose of this show. Find out what's been happening. And we know what's been happening from a Leeds point of view. So what have you got on this little magical mystery tour this week, Michael?
Bit of Hull, bit of Scum, bit of Everton, bit of that Cardiff City fan. Just because for a bit of a palate cleanser from the Mank. We'll start with Hull though. Sadly, not enough upset for me. I think because they've started the season quite poorly. You need people to have hope, don't you?
Yeah.
And
to extinguish it.
Exactly. That's what propaganda's really about, is seeing people be hopeful or expect something and then seeing them upset about it.
Which is why, in many ways, it's your show.
Exactly.
Looking at people whose hope has been extinguished.
I recognise it so well. But yeah, Hull, they're sort of taking it all right, really. This is... First clip's a glimpse HC, which I believe stands for Hull City. This is in the away end, and this is the first goal going in.
We've been really good, it's so annoying. Could have been said in my own voice.
Really good?
They were fine.
They were all right. They were just about keeping us out. They hadn't created anything unless Melier had thrown it to the feet. I don't know what he's complaining about.
It's all relative, Dean. It's all relative. It
is, but come on, your Hull City at Ellen Road, take your fucking medicine.
Yeah, I mean, their chances were an obvious foul on Joe Rodon and Melier passing it straight to them. So
well done.
So well done, Hull. 2-0 anyway.
It was 2-0. Yeah, well done.
Let's hear it. Still annoying.
You could do a little 15-second rewind on that and just hear that little bit of swearing in the background.
Yeah. The start of it, he does see the ball played and just goes, goal.
What did he say? What was the end of that sentence? Because I heard the expletive, but then what was the next bit?
Just some general chuntering, I think.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
It's the sort of stuff you do, innit?
That noise of, I mean, we've all been there as well, when you're in the away end and the home team score and it feels like everyone around you is celebrating, barring your miserable little corner. It's great, isn't it, when you hear it, when the shoe's on the other foot?
Yeah. My stance in the away end is generally to look straight ahead at the pitch and try to ignore what's going on around because they want you to engage. So if you just think, I'm just not going to look, I'm going to go to my happy place.
Which is where for you?
Just all by myself somewhere.
B&M?
Somewhere nice and quiet.
Home bargains?
Been at home bargains this morning, actually.
What did you get?
I need some toothpaste.
Right.
How much was it?
Well, because I'm old, I'm on the Sensodyne, so it's not cheap.
No,
it was on offers of $250.
I was going to say you're comfortably looking at $249 now.
But yeah, I was going to say you often have to pay more than that. It's very dark times.
You can get a Sensodyne rip-off in Aldi for 79 pence.
It's not as good.
Is it not?
I've tried it. Believe me, I was willing it to be as good, but it just wasn't.
That's a shame, isn't it?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. And also, you do get the chance to potentially meet Lucy Wardstruck, Neil Redfern in the home bargains in Ponty as well. So I mean, that's
Posh and back
nice.
to Ponty.
Exactly. So that's a little added bonus.
Wow. What a day. What a start to the day. I can see why your hope has been extinguished, to be honest, Michael.
Could be worse, could live in Hull.
This is true. Mind you, you're nearly there.
Whoa, hang on.
Come on. It's only a hop, step and a jump via Goole and you're there.
It's about 50 minutes away.
That's all right.
It's too close for comfort, I admit, but still, the accent has not infested Pontefract, which is good.
So where do we go now?
We're going to go to the West Stand, 1904 club. He doesn't sound like that, actually, this guy. But he's recording this from the West Stand. Fair and balanced in general, although he did make this point.
A bit like the game here on Bank Holiday Monday last season, where City had a fair bit of the ball and started to get the crowd really frustrated, and it happened again here. It doesn't take a huge amount for the Leeds crowd to get narky.
Fuck off.
What's his definition of narky then? Because we weren't particularly up for the fight there, I didn't think, for the weekend.
Kill us for having high standards, Dean. That's what I say.
Yeah.
I do know what he means. Like the sort of free kicks not being given, the Meslier pissing around with it. I think we are quite narky.
Dan James breaking down the right and then passing it back to Meslier.
Yeah, Glenn Kamara spinning and eventually decided on that pass to the centre-backs, which was maybe what was annoying us at the end of last season.
But we're all new and exciting now, aren't we? Playing 3-1-6, we've decided, so...
And Tanaka's still to come into the team and be the best player in the Championship.
In the world.
In the world.
In the world. So what else did your man from 1904 say?
Just some balanced stuff about the game in general.
This was a big test today, and at times they looked okay. Did they ever look like scoring? Not really. Did they ever look like hurting Leeds? Not really. Leeds kept them at arm's length by a couple of moments, and when the opportunity came, they took it, and then they finished the game off before, to avoid any potential problems in the final few minutes when the ball's being thrown forward. They got that second goal and killed it off. City are a long way from where Leeds are. Of course they are.
Of course they are.
Not unhinged enough, but at least you know. At least you know your place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but what's he on about? He said, this was a big test today and we did okay, and then listed loads of things to the contrary.
But this is well as they can hope to do against us.
Well,
I think that's the thing.
Right, what else have we got?
How do you want to go here? Do you want to go Scum? Do you want to go Everton? I mean, they're the two main...
I don't know, it feels like Everton's probably going to be more unhinged at this stage. Because that was a more unhinged defeat.
All right, you wanted to hear... crushing disappointment, didn't you? So we'll go straight for Paddock first. This is Joe, who, if you've ever seen it, he's the guy who looks a bit Mick Fleetwoody in the 70s. It's not a bad look, in fairness. He pulls it off all right. But this is him making his score prediction pre-game.
Give us your score prediction, my friend.
I think we're going to win this game, and I think we're going to keep a clean sheet as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-0. I think Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes will score the goals. Casemiro from a set piece, and Bruno, nice little finish inside the box. But I think it's going to be one of the first time in a while where United are the better team and beat Liverpool comfortably.
This is the narrator's voice point, isn't it?
Yeah. It didn't happen. Casemiro. Oh, man.
Did you see what his wife posted, though?
No.
In the wake of all the criticism that he received over the weekend for being basically a fat, slow plodder, she posted a black and white photo on Instagram of just all the replica trophies he's got made in his house. He's got like proper...
I thought you were going to say black and white photo of him as if he died.
No. It's not got that bad.
But
he's got 5 European Cups or whatever on his shelf that he's obviously had made. I don't think the original ones, you've generally got to get them copied.
Yes.
Just a photo of all his trophies on this wall. That was all she said. Just trophies.
But I mean, that's fine. It's a fine point to make, but did you see the game at the weekend? Because, stuff happened.
It's a bit like you posting a photo with a fine head of hair, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I have got hair, actually. Yeah. People, now I've got some ball chat from Flying Pig, actually.
This does not come as a surprise.
In a little bit.
There's always some ball chat propaganda. On this show, there's a lot of hair chat. Have you noticed it's very hair heavy, is this show?
Unlike my head, which is lovely and shiny.
I like this from Joe, because it's such a football fan thing to just lead with blind optimism, make really specific predictions that come back to bite you right in the arse. And by half-time, Casemiro's hooked. He's on the bench. His wife's arranging his trophy cabinet and taking arty photos of it for the backlash. It's exactly what football's all about, and especially when it's those bastards over there.
What would your wife take a photo of if she was trying to defend you on social media? Would it be like a maybe a half acceptable meal you'd made at some point and be like, he once made a bolognese, so how about you lay off him?
Yeah. I think it might be like maybe a pizza.
A well-tidied downstairs toilet.
Yeah.
But he did this, so to get off his back.
Look, he's giving it a really good bleaching.
There you go. Lovely stuff. We can't. That's not about bleaching again. We've been here before. I was trying to find a little clip to where they addressed predictions and stuff. He didn't really go back to it. I will say Jay, the other guy on it, he did predict Man United win 7-0.
Right.
Which I don't think was sincere.
What's he been smoking?
I think he was saying, what's the most wrong we've ever been? And he was like, well, we can't be that wrong again. So if I go 7-0, it can't be. And it turned out it was more wrong than that.
The principle of basically doubling down.
Yeah. So it was 10 goals. Sounds
to me like he's been on the wacky backy.
But he did then settle on a draw.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think this is after the second goal has gone in. But it probably just sums up the day from really.
Shit, man. Fucking hell.
Fucking Casemiro.
There you go. Done.
Trophies and that, though.
Trophies and that. Let's hear from Webby on Casemiro.
Yeah. The reason Manchester United Football Club won the FA Cup final last year with a great display against Manchester City because Casemiro wasn't near the fucking pitch. You can, Tony, I could go away and lose 3 stone over the summer, but when your legs go, your legs go. You can be 30 stone or 3 stone. His legs have gone. It happens to us all. I remember playing on Wivenshaw Park, and I tried to beat someone for the little bit of pace which I thought he had, and it had gone. So I got my boots and I slung them in the canal.
I didn't expect that.
You could just put them in the cupboard.
Was there a point when you knew your legs had gone?
It was early. It was never quick. First yards in the
When you
mind.
were about 17.
I think I was quick for about 2 weeks in year 9. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I think maybe I grew a bit and
started drinking as well. Year 9.
Yeah.
How old are you in 9? About
13,
12,
14, aren't you? 13, 14.
13, I think.
Yeah. My son's he's in year 9. I should
You
know
should
this.
know this.
Yeah.
You should know this.
Yeah.
I love how specific that was. For a couple of weeks in year 9.
I remember it's because I remember it well. I remember being like, I might be getting better at. Oh shit, everyone's grown.
What I like about this clip is I really like accents that are so strong it sounds like it hurts to talk in them. You get it sometimes with really posh people. It's like, everybody works. It's really difficult to come out. But this guy, the Mank, is so difficult for him to produce. I took off a food in the canal. Sounds like he's straining over a particularly hard stool, if I may.
He'd make a very good. Do you remember Creature Comforts? The ITV Aardman series.
Oh, is ITV taking credit for this?
I think it was.
They just bought it.
They just bought it. Yeah, it was on ITV. That
plasticine penguins and shit.
He'd have been a good character on that. Would Webby?
What animal would he have been?
Like a bulldog or something.
Oh, great! Yeah, I commissioned that.
I think it'd have fitted in well. But solutions are emerging from this problem.
Is the solution to get rid of Erik ten Hag? Because I can see an obvious problem there.
What is it?
He's not very good.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that is part of the solution, but there's more.
It's great because everybody can see that he is the problem there. That I think they worked out, there's a graphic, 616 million or something like that they've spent on players since he's been there, and they're not very good.
No.
And he's the obvious problem here.
Well, 60 million of that was on Casemiro, who needs to now put himself and his boots in the canal.
Yeah, he needs to go over Rainbow Bridge, doesn't he? Go live on the farm. Or Saudi Arabia.
I told her, I put myself in a sack with a load of bricks and I took myself to canal.
That's quite bleak.
Probably is a bit, yeah.
Everybody can see it, and even like Gary Neville on commentary is dancing around it. He goes so close but never says it, that he's the problem. And I love it. I just love that this is happening. It's great.
Gary Neville's a man whose legs went.
Yes, very much.
Was basically an all right footballer one day. Next day, Bradley Johnson was steaming past him, and it was like, oh, fucking hell, Bradley Johnson don't go past anyone. He's not really his game.
And the funny thing about Ten Hag is he's failing, and so he thinks, well, what can I do? And clearly he's just thought back to a time when it was working, when he was at Ajax, and he's just buying some of their players to try and just make it Ajax of Salford, and it's not working still, and it's hilarious.
It's good, isn't it? It's nice because they had all the favourable wins like when we were kids, and now it's not your turn anymore, and that's fine. It's not our turn either, but
oh goodness,
I mean, if we can't be happy, at least they can't.
We only got our turn for like a year, didn't we?
Yeah, very very short period of time.
Very short period. Never mind.
Maybe one day again.
Anyway, let's hear this solution.
Do we look any more further forward than we did last season, Webby, here, with 3 games in?
No. We're 14th in the league. Let that sink in, 14th. You know, we got to Southampton after the international break. They're below us. It's going to be a cup final for them. You know, if we're not on our ball, we could be in the bottom three. You know, and I don't want to come in here about the manager, but we get beat at Southampton, mate. I can't see nothing for him. I cannot see anything for him. I really can't, mate. You got Ruud van Nistelrooy on the bench there, United absolute legend. You know, and every time United lose or don't get a good result, the camera's going to pan in at Van Nistelrooy. He don't want to come here and be a part-time number 2 or whatever. He wants to be the main man.
There you go. Van Nistelrooy's the answer.
He knows the club.
He does know the club.
I really, really hope they appoint Van Nistelrooy. I'd like to get that on record now. Ten Hag gone, Van Nistelrooy in, rinse and repeat. Brilliant.
I don't think I knew that he was there, and I must have missed that news bulletin until the camera cut to him at the weekend. And I saw it, and it took me a while to register that it was Van Nistelrooy, because my first thought is that he looks like a haunted butler now. He looks like Van Nistelrooy if you put him through a lot of filters. And it's maybe just the aging process, but it shocked me. Do you reckon he'd still do a job from up front instead of what they've got trotting around up there?
Yes.
Full stop.
He could do a better job anchoring midfield, probably, than Casemiro.
Are his boots in the canal?
Maybe so.
He's Dutch, isn't he?
Yep.
Lots of canals to put your boots in.
Very much so.
For sure.
Well practiced. Yeah. No, it's great. But what'll happen is they'll beat Southampton more than likely, which will just be enough just to perpetuate it all a little bit longer.
It's the Solskjaer cycle. When they couldn't sack him because he'd win an occasional decent game, and they're like, I don't know, they'd beat Arsenal, for example, and everyone would go, oh, right, maybe it's okay. And then they'd lose to Palace and then draw in Europe, and everyone's like, oh, fucking hell, we need to sack him again.
But then they might beat like Arsenal or something like that.
Yeah.
There'll be a really big game that they turn up in for their 1 in 10 or whatever. Yeah.
Anyway,
Good.
Flying Pig United is also discussing Ruud van Nistelrooy and also just the Battle of the Baldies.
And Arnie Slot has won the Battle of the Dutch Baldies. Not only won the Battle of the Dutch Baldies, but absolutely humiliated his Dutch counterpart there with that level of performance from Manchester United and Liverpool. It's a fucking shit show. Manchester United, hang your fucking heads in shame. Eric Ten Hag, hang that bald head in shame, my son, because you are a fucking absolute complete flounderer, lad. You've let us down yet again this season. He's an absolute jelly bean. Sorry, that's it, I'm done. Give it Ruud van Nistelrooy to end of the season. I've had enough of this shit show. I've had enough of this Dutch to Dutch Kojak vibe in here. Everything about us is absolutely Kettering Town-esque. See you later on, Eric. I'm sorry, we tried. I wanted to give this guy a chance at the start of this season. I was never ever thinking that after 3 games we'd be shouting and calling for Eric Ten Hag's head and saying Eric Ten Hag out. He's got to go! He's got to go now! We've just been done by this absolute Arnie Slot bald Dutch melt who's come in and won the Baldico, El Baldico. You're a failure, Eric. A straight-up fucking failure, Eric Ten Hag.
It's quite a lot, isn't it?
See, I did anticipate he'd be shouting after 3 games because it's his thing.
Kind of what he does.
Yeah.
I want his wife to come in like she did last week with a tin of beans or whatever it was that she wanted opening.
And smack him around the back of the head with it.
Why don't we do any performative bullshit like this?
It's very tiring, Dean. I'm very tired.
I've not got that much energy.
No. And if we did that...
He does a live stream for about 5 hours that goes on like that.
If we did that sort of performative stuff, though, every time Leeds United put our noses out of joint, we'd be burnt out very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true. You've got to have a low level, haven't you?
Did he call him a jelly bean?
I think he did.
Is that referring to the bald nature of a jelly bean? Not that you get many hairy sweets, but is that specifically an insult? Have you guys heard?
No, I've never had it shouted at me from a car.
Okay, I might start.
And I've heard a lot of things.
I was going to say, what have you had shouted at you from a car?
Will's probate conveyancing.
I was going to say it's normally Will's probate conveyancing. Yeah, absolutely.
That is the main one. But jelly beans are nice.
Yeah, delicious. And why is he slagging off Kettering?
Yeah.
Kettering should have a right of reply. Listen, we're well run. We're doing our thing.
Aldi's sour jelly beans are good. Look, I have the green packet.
Look, I've tried them.
Yeah, they're good.
The Iron Brew ones are all right too.
Oh,
yeah.
Anyway, there's your jelly bean chat.
I tell you what, we've mentioned Scotland. Let's go to Motherwell.
She is.
Something.
Actually, Mother's not been well. She's been ill.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, I knew, obviously. I'm keeping tracks, but yeah.
With the mums.
They scored a late winner at St Johnstone.
As we all know.
As we all know, yeah, it was a big one at the weekend. But the Motherwell TV commentator is obviously in the St Johnstone stand for this. It's evidently quite a small stand. There are supporters around him, and they don't take particularly kindly to him, sounding happy about it.
Unbelievable! Motherwell win it right to the death! Brilliant! Brilliant! St Johnstone fans not happy in front of me. I don't care. St Johnstone fans not happy. There we go. St Johnstone fans absolutely delighted. I hope you picked that up.
He said, "If I'll shove that microphone.
That'd be worse.
No, I was going to say that microphone so far up your arse, whatever, blah 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 blah. If you ever talk to me like that again, he's a commentator. What do you mean?
Maybe he thinks he's there to just goad him.
Right.
You've been talking all game.
I had visions of a man turning round and pointing upwards back across a couple of rows of seats, like threateningly, jabbing his finger at him.
This is the best little island in the world because of things like this, and just the spread of accents and how characterful all of these characters are. In a division in Slovenia, not to slag off the Slovenian division, you don't get this kind of vitriol and this kind of inventive way of getting at somebody and slagging someone off. It's just it's fantastic.
I like how earlier in the commentator goes, "Hey, Gross, I don't care." Probably looking around him thinking, might get filled in, but never mind.
It reminds me of when Phil Hay was talking, was he at Millwall, and someone asked him where he was from, and he was like, "Oh, Daily Mirror," or something like that. Just lied. He just lied.
It's absolutely the best coward's way out.
Coward. What's your favourite bit about St Johnstone?
Oh.
Obviously, you know it's in the town of...
Johnston.
No.
Paisley?
Nearly. Think Australia.
Hamilton?
Think Australia.
Cairns?
No.
Sydney?
Perth. Perth. Well done. Well done.
All right. Yeah, it's a good town.
Yeah, what's your favourite thing about it? Railway station?
Kangaroos.
Railway station. Do you like the station?
This is a trick. I don't know. I like the bus station.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's got a train station, but everywhere's got a bus station.
I think you're thinking of Preston bus station there, which is obviously
that is good.
The country's finest.
I've toured a theatre show to Perth, and they've got a really good Wetherspoons.
Really
good. You like a Wetherspoons, don't you? Because of the value aspect of it.
Yeah.
And as we said before, it aligns with your politics. So
no, it doesn't. And I'd rather they treated the staff better as well. Right. However, do I want a breakfast for £3 sometimes? Yes, I do.
Good lad. Right. What else have we got?
Have I got a bit more scum, or should we go? Let's tell you what. Let's go Everton.
Right.
Let's get ourselves to Everton. So we'll start with Div Dogs 04.
Yep.
Which is great. So he's actually inside Goodison Park filming this, and again to get back to the theme of the joy,
light and shade,
the building up. He's peaking at this because it was a great performance from Everton for the majority of this game. From what you read, they were playing well, and let's hear how happy he once was.
Like 20 minutes left, and I feel really comfortable watching Everton. You just look like they score more and more. It's like the best in attack I've seen us in ages. Maybe that win against Doncaster, that's given us the fucking confidence, because I tell you what, we look so good up there.
Oh dear.
Feels so comfortable. We look so good.
It really is an opera, this game of football that we enjoy so much. Imagine, I'm listening to that then, and because I know how it ends, and hopefully what we're going to get in a minute, I can just sit there and smile and go, I know what's coming, mate. I've read the script.
You thought you knew everything you thought you knew.
I saw somebody tweet a link to, it was one of the Everton forums. It was the game day thread. And I went into it, and they'd linked specifically to the page where it started at 2-0, and then the goal started going in the other end. And just watching it over the course of about 10 or 15 pages just unravel. Just swear words. I'm done.
There's a lot of I'm done.
Shut
You get
it
a lot of
down.
I'm done on the internet.
Yeah. Fuck off, that kind of thing.
Yeah, got a lot of Deitch out as well. But,
Yes.
Anyway, this is when.
Oh, how is Sean Dyche, by the way?
Very well.
This is when they get it back to 2-1 anyway, and you can hear the doubts are creeping back in. He's remembered Everton or Everton.
They did, dear reader.
6 on the board.
Yeah.
Need to concentrate. Don't do anything stupid.
They did.
Should we what happened in injury time?
Yeah, this is the latest win ever, wasn't it, from a losing position in the Premier League, I think.
Is that right? Well, I think, yeah, from 2 down at that stage. First time for everything.
Absolutely. And it wasn't us for once. So there's comfort in that. What happened then, boys and girls?
This.
This reminds me of Newcastle 2-2 all over again. He's in the corner. What are we fucking doing? I had a stupid feeling about that, and it's happened to me just stupid shit all the time. It's absolutely ridiculous. Giving the ball away stupidly as well. What is that? Fucking idiots!
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Seemed a fair place to leave it.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? Like, we've done some bleak match balls sometimes when things have gone bad, but it's always, the match ball is always with just there's a little gap of time, is what I was going to say. He's remarkably rational for commentating on that in real time. I would have been silent. I would have been in bits.
I would have just been simply not recording it.
Yeah, or you're walking out just going, fuck off.
Yeah.
I've had enough.
I think this is why I wouldn't have it in me to do like actual match day vlog stuff, because after we win, I might get home buzzing. Let's look at this video. Let's edit it. After you've been 2 up on 87 minutes and you've lost, delete file.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
Not thinking about that ever again.
Never happened.
It didn't happen.
Yeah, that wasn't as satisfying as I kind of wanted it to be. He seemed to cut out the sound of the Bournemouth fans celebrating as well, unless there was only 6 of them.
There were not many, and they were in the far corner.
Right, fair enough.
So.
And he was too rational. I wanted him to be foaming at the mouth and spitting and kicking kids and stuff in the stands.
But as Michael was saying before, like I think there's an air of resignation there about they know where all this is heading, and it's not a good happy place, is it?
It's the nice progress though. He's going, we're playing really well here. I'm really comfortable. Bloody hell, that's the clean sheet thrown away. This reminds me of Newcastle when we drew 2-2 and we threw it away. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The other side to this is, if you are on the other side of the fence, if you're a Bournemouth fan, and I know there are not many of them, but if you are a Bournemouth fan, it's one of the best days of your life. We've been there as Leeds fans, like Derby in 1997, the 3-2 against Blackburn, Villa, stuff like that. Just amazing days that you remember for years and years to come. But for everybody who wins from that position, there's another team that loses.
Yeah, both Bournemouth fans are going nuts today, no doubt about it. But was something that I really enjoyed in all of those clips, and especially when the first goal went in, is the just low-level concern in the stadium announcer's voice. Do you know what I mean? Like, the people around this fan are rightly voicing some concern, but just to hear it creep in the stadium announcer, goal for Bournemouth, it's just like it's anticipating more things. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
It's a tough gig, is the announcing the opposition goal scorer, because you've sort of got to do it, but you've got to do it in the most low-key way possible.
I wonder if it's even part of the Premier League rules that you've got to do it, so you know that there's no way around this. If you don't do it, you're going to get the club like a fine of some sort.
Yeah, it'll be like a $2,000 fine or something for not announcing it.
Don't want to.
A goal by someone. Don't worry. It's on the screen. Read it if you want. Blue Boys. This clip actually reminded me, speaking of our own traumas, a little bit. He's crosser because he's more angry about the general state of Everton, but the general state of disbelief he's in reminds me a bit of post-Derby. You know, when you get back and you're like, what?
What just happened?
How?
What an absolute disgrace that is. Everton 2, Bournemouth 3. Everton were 2-0 up until the 86th minute and fell apart. I can't get over what has just happened. I've seen some games against Bournemouth. I've seen some mad games where we've been 3-0 up and drew 3-3 and vice versa. And I've seen games where we equalise in the 87th minute and then lose in the 93rd like that. I have never seen a game like that. I can't get over how bad that game management was when we're 2-0 up. We have all the chances in the world. I can't believe what has just happened. How does that happen?
He's right as well. Football's ridiculous, isn't it? When you think about it, there's no way they should lose that game.
No, there's not enough minutes.
No way.
Because generally, like, you've been there when you're a couple of goals up and they get a goal in injury time, and you go, there's probably not time for them to score another, is there? It's going to kick off. There's going to be maybe one ball forward. They're not going to score.
We've been great all the way up to this point. We've controlled possession. We've shown no sign of nerves, and yet they've just snuck one against the run of play. But then they do,
and he can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Coming back to it.
It reminded me of that famous commentary. I can't speak.
I can't speak. They were bottleless gets.
Yeah.
In fairness, were the blue, but not the Blue Boys. Well, he was fine. He did it. He did his bit. But you said about they know where this is heading. This very short clip, but he knows where this is heading.
By the way, just to put this in context, this is what teams that get relegated do. They shit themselves.
Yeah, no, fair point.
Reminded me of us against Spurs.
Yeah.
When we were in the lead and it was just like, but I still don't feel like I'm going to win this. Because the general mood is we can fuck stuff up. And that's where Everton are now. Everton weirdly need to sack Dyche to appoint Dyche, don't they, though? Because he's sort of the best qualified man.
They'll put Moyes in.
Oh, yeah, that's probably right.
Who might save him?
At least he take him out of our mix.
Orbit, yeah.
Although he does bring Dyche into our orbit.
No, thank you. They did exactly the same at the start of last season. They lost the first 3 games and beat Doncaster in the League Cup. And they've done that both seasons.
Really? Exactly the same thing?
Exactly the same thing. And
that's
so
weird.
It's strange, but they survived last season and with a points deduction. So this guy's just being sensationalist. They'll be fine.
They might well be, to be honest.
Europa League.
I think they're not going to be.
Well,
if they put Moyes in, they probably will be. But I don't know. It feels like they've gurgled round the plug hole for too long.
Does Moyes after Dyche work though? Because they sort of would do the same thing. I feel like if you've gone for a more exciting continental appointment, and then you go, right, we'll bring in an old British bastard.
But I don't think you survive by trying to put flair in and trying to beat teams, because they're not good enough to beat teams. That's
I know they're saying that they've tried flair. They did all that when they were spending money.
And Dyche is pure attrition, isn't it?
Then they went Dyche ball, but Dyche to Moyes is not much of a step. It's just more of the same.
But I was going to say it's a different voice in the dressing room. It's just changing things up, isn't it? It's about refreshing the messaging that's going on, that kind of thing. I don't know.
Maybe.
Sometimes, it can just be the change that that precipitates, I don't know, a reinvigorated effort from the players, let's say, maybe. I don't know.
I think they're in trouble either way, because it does feel a little bit like we did when we went down, because yes, they're able to play well for periods, but then, like he said so eloquently, shit yourself and throw in a defeat. But also, they've got so much turbulence going on behind the scenes. Nobody knows whose job it is to run them or to own them. And that was a similar thing when Rads was trying to palm it off nice and quick for the Premier League cash towards the San Francisco 49ers. No accountability. And there's something in me that just really wants another club, big club like we did, to have a really nasty time, especially when they're going to be rattling around that massive stadium. They'll fill it out for a bit, but they'll have financial problems, and they won't be able to make signings, and they'll just be a bit wank for a season, and it'll just be funny.
Yeah, it does need to happen to them. But the daft thing is, in the long run, they might be better off than perpetually doing this when they can't spend any money. Get rid of all the big earners that they've still got and just clear the decks. And I know everybody always makes this argument. You try and justify going down, don't you, by going, it'll give us a chance to get rid of the deadwood.
We did that when we were down at the Championship, when we went down to League One, and you go, this will really be an opportunity.
Proper palate cleanser. Yeah.
League 2, good.
In many ways, we're the winners.
Even better. Thank you very much, Ken Bates.
I think in their case, there is an argument for it, because they keep trying to sustain Premier League wages and Premier League players. And maybe they just need to get rid of it all, put it all in the bin. Have a nice season in the Championship, maybe. But them going down could be catastrophic financially. So, let's see what happens.
Well, and they've never been in the second tier, right?
I don't know, maybe.
I feel
Not for a very, very long. I think they've certainly never been out of the Premier League.
Yeah.
They've been in that forever, despite avoiding relegation like numerous times.
So there would be various meltdowns, which would just be good for this show, really. I'm just thinking of content.
Yeah.
It's worthwhile. It's worthwhile other people suffering, so we can have a laugh for 5 minutes.
Definitely.
I would say so.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, let's continue the tour of Britain's accents. We've had Manc, Scottish, Scouse.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Wales now. Because I went to... I had a hunch that Cardiff City fan might have met Sol Bamba outside the ground at some point. I didn't know if there might have been something nice on there. It turns out he's not put anything on about it. But I've just thought I'll watch his latest video, see what he's...
That Cardiff City fan, is this the boy?
This is the boy.
Yeah.
Who goes...
we got quite endeared to him, didn't we? He was...
Yeah, he was... Because he lost all his subscribers, so we got him his subscribers back.
Of course, yes, yeah.
But there's he was at Trey Forest versus Cosmos.
Right. That sounds like a game in New York, like upstate New York.
I've got to tell you, it's not got much of a New York vibe to it, this game. It's got a real 1970s FA Cup final vibe to it. There are a lot of really heavy tackles going in. The ref is having an interesting evening. He's like a traditional non-league ref in that he's a very fat little old man.
Looks like the fat controller from Thomas the Tank Engine.
Who's kind of strolling about. So at one point, I mean, we'll hear some shouting at him in a minute, but he's having a bad time of it anyway. And a penalty is given at the far end of the pitch. And you hear a shout. It doesn't really come across in audio form, but it's about 5 minutes into the video if you want to watch it. You hear someone in the crowd go, "How can you see it from there?" And then the camera pans around and to see this fat bloke walking out of the other half, having given a penalty.
So he's giving it from like 60 yards away.
He's a minimum of 60 yards away when he's given this penalty.
Probably just wanted a breather.
You did an impression of this ref's walk in the office yesterday, and I was thinking about it on the drive over to Manchester. Just it's so funny and so specific. So I really need to seek this out and find this walk to see how photoreal it was.
It's sort of a confident stroll of a man who's doing a terrible, terrible job of refereeing. So, well, do you want to hear it? First of all, a good shout. This is from a free kick from about 30 yards. Someone's decided to go for a shot. It's not a high level of football, and it probably goes about 30 yards over, and this is what someone shouts.
Have a shot next time!
What was that?
Have a shot next time.
Beautiful.
Classic.
Which is just a classic non-league sort of a low-key annoying someone shout. But yeah, so this ref's having a difficult game, and this is him disallowing a goal, which video footage later reveals to have been somewhere between 5 to 10 yards onside. But it's been disallowed all the same, and you just get to hear some anger in the crowd.
He's not wrong. He's not fucking wrong. These reps and lineups are incompetent.
The thing is, I do that in Ellen Road. It's just you can't hear me because of everyone else.
And the ref can't hear you either, whereas
No.
that ref will have been able to hear this individual man just shouting at him.
Blinkers on, not looking at anybody. Yeah.
He struck me as a man with unshakable confidence, that ref, anyway.
No, fair play.
Because there's another clip as well where it's an awful potential red card tackle. Ref's just like, yeah, play on. Just absolutely. I think maybe it's time for him to quit.
Hang up the whistle. Right, where else?
Do you want to go a bit more scum? Yeah, let's have a bit more scum. Someone else annoyed at a referee. This is United Community Challenge.
Right.
I think, is it challenge? Have I written that right? United caring the community? I'm not sure. It's something like that. Anyway, I've taken a lot of silence out of this because there's a moment of realisation. But this is someone, he's obviously watching our live stream, not in the game, and it's someone being really angry at a ref and then realising the ref might actually have got it right but still being angry.
Ah, fuck off! You fucking referee, boy! Fucking bollocks, boy! That Anthony Taylor is fucking useless! Fucking Casemiro again! I mean, in slow motion, it doesn't look like a foul, but I don't know.
You can hear it, can't you? Yeah.
Because he's obviously watching, it's the second goal, I think, and he's watching it back. He's been furious, then he's going, yeah. Well, I don't know. It's one or the other.
He does a really good job at trying to maintain the energy from the first part, where he's so front-footed and fuming, and then he sees it and he goes, I don't know, but to be fair, something was wrong there. There's something wrong with your ref.
You can just hear the air deflating out of him, can't you?
As he realises it's completely...
Nice racist accent, by the way, there, Dean.
I'm half Irish, so...
Right. I look forward to the complaints.
Listen, I thank you. This is my heritage, so don't be so rude to me. Thank you.
Where now?
Let's finish on a bit of Newcastle.
Yes.
Don't often get this. This did the rounds on Twitter as well. Toonza, the one and only. I was not aware of Toonza, but he's now a person of interest because at some point he did a live stream
in the FBI sense
from within a moving car,
right?
And he's obviously driving whilst in a moving car, to be clear, not a passenger. And someone in the comments was like, "You shouldn't really be filming whilst driving." And he replied on the comments saying, "No, I wasn't driving. The keys were out as well." But then someone showed footage of it, and he's clearly the car's moving, and he's in the driver's seat.
Maybe he just let the handbrake off when they were going down a hill.
Then he just deleted the video, pretended it never happened.
Which is a tactic.
Seemed to be the gist of it. But
right.
There's two of them on this live stream. They're replying to a comment.
So Toonza's not the one and only.
He's the only Toonza,
right?
I guess there's some other woman on this stream with him. But this is
Toonza and friend.
This is what happens when you read YouTube comments out. And then you also pretend to know something about football.
Right, which is essentially the premise of this show.
No, because we don't pretend to know something about football.
That's true.
Should go for the young lad for the championship, Murray Leicester. He's a real handful. Have you heard of this guy, Murray Leicester?
Not really seen too much of him. I've heard of him, but I've not seen a lot of him.
Mo Leicester.
I mean, good for her not seeing much of him. It's what you hope for.
Yeah. Wow.
There used to be tweets that did the round a few years ago when we were clearly never going to sign anyone. And it would be Leeds are in for Turkish striker Nawan Atal. And when you write it down, no one at all.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, right, who's this kid? And I sat there and researched it until the penny dropped and then went, don't be so stupid, Dino.
That's a reinvention or a more modern take on it. Used to happen back when I was doing the radio. Like, you can text into radio stations for shout outs and stuff like that. Exactly that same sort of thing. Never fell for it myself, thankfully. Touch wood, I doubt the opportunity will present itself again for me to do so. But I am aware of people doing it. I think there's a Twitter account like Radio Fails of people doing stuff like this.
It's doubling down as well on not only recognising it's a prank, but then pretending to have
got the joke in the first place.
No, pretending to have heard of this guy called Mo Leicester. He's like, yeah, I've not seen much of him. I think he's quite young, I think, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's from the Bart Simpson school of hilarity. Very much.
The start of this clip actually segues in from them talking about Michael Jackson, but I removed that bit because that's nothing to do with the wider context of the clip.
Thankfully, I don't think you can libel the dead, can you? So,
okay, cool.
Mind you, if you go back to your Tom Numbers stuff, he's just waiting
in the wings
with Princess Diana. So there you go. Finishing on a low in many ways, this show. So should we wrap it up there?
Let's wrap it up there, and let's hope, Michael, if you're listening, give our regards to Johan and Princess Di, and we'll see you all soon.
And if Annie's there, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Annie.
Bye.
Back in a couple of weeks. No propaganda next week. We'll see you then.
The Square Ball Podcast.